Hello, my name is Brittany Monda, and I'm the Director of Charter Schools with Shelby County Schools. As the charter school sector grows within SCS, it becomes increasingly important that SCS-authorized public charters are good stewards of public funds and maintain healthy financial performance to be viable academic options for both students and parents. Each year, SCS analyzes and summarizes the information in individual charter schools' financial audits to produce the Charter School Financial Oversight Report that presents consistent and transparent information about SCS-authorized public charter school finances. Beginning with fiscal year 19 data, schools will receive a score based off of 6 weighted categories. We have financial performance, which is worth 20%, liquidity, which is worth 25%, debt burden, 5%, financial sustainability, 20%, financial report compliance, 15%, and financial audit results, 15%. Each of these categories have between 1 and 4 indicators that will make up the category's overall score. Most of our indicators are scored on a 1 to 5 scale, with 1 as the least amount of points earned and 5 as the maximum amount of points earned. Let's review the categories with each of the indicators listed underneath. First, we have financial performance, which is worth 20%. We'll look at enrollment variance, total margin, and aggregated total margin. Our aggregated total margin looks at 3 years. It measures the long-term financial stability of a school with its impact of a single-year fluctuation on the single-year total margin indicator. The ratio is calculated using the statement of revenues, expenditures, and changes in fund balance with governmental funds. You can earn between a 1 and a 5 on this indicator. Please note that a total margin in any year of less than negative 10% or an aggregate 3-year total margin less than or equal to negative 1.5% is an indicator of financial risk. When we look at liquidity, it is worth 25%. The liquidity category looks at current ratio, unrestricted cash days, and multi-year cash flow. Our next category is debt burden, which is worth 5%. Debt burden has one category, which is debt to asset ratio. Our debt to asset ratio measures the amount of liabilities a school owes versus the assets that they own. For debt to asset ratio, you can either earn a score of a 1 or a score of a 5. A score of a 1 is a ratio that is greater than or equal to 1.0. A score of a 5 is a ratio that is less than 1.0. A debt to asset ratio greater than or equal to 1.0 is a generally accepted indicator of potential long-term financial issues, as the organization owes more than it owns, reflecting a risky financial position. Our next category is financial sustainability, which is worth 20%. This will look at your primary reserve ratio. The primary reserve ratio provides a snapshot of financial strength and flexibility by indicating how long the charter school could function using its expendable net assets without relying on additional net assets generated by operations. A school can score between a 1 or a 5 on this indicator, a 1 being a ratio that is less than 0.25, and a 5 earning them a ratio that is greater than 0.40. Next, we look at financial report compliance, which is worth 15%. There are 4 sub-indicators that are under this section: timeliness of audit, timeliness of AFR and your AFR balanced budget, timeliness and alignment of board-approved budget, and your submission of the 990. When we're looking at our financial report compliance, a lot of these indicators are a 5 for yes or a 1 for no. For indicators related to the timeliness of audit and the submission of the 990, the question that is asked is, was a copy received on or before December 31st? Then for the timeliness of the AFR, the state board approved budget, and if the AFR is balanced and aligns with the budget. The question that is asked is, was it received on or before July 15th? Please note that in this indicator section, there are two important dates, December 31st and July 15th. Please help us ensure that we have your submissions by both of those dates. Our last category is financial audit results, which is worth 15%. In this section, we look at the opinion of the financial statements, audit findings with financial statements, if there is a going concern, and debt compliance. When all of the category scores are put together, the school will receive a charter school weighted scorecard. Please note that a weighted score of less than 3.0 is an indicator to Shelby County Schools Office of Finance that there is a financial concern, and action may need to be taken by our team. The Office of Charter Schools and our teammate LaTanya in the Office of Finance always are here to help you if you have any questions. Please always reach out by our email should you have a question about the financial score report or any of the timelines or scores that are associated. Thank you for your commitment to our students in Shelby County and your commitment to strong financial health in your school.